let's talk a little bit about the review system. So I want to give a little bit of time and attention to this. Look, we're on Wedding Wire. There's the Knot. A lot of companies are, but lately it seems to me a little bit lately that there's kind of a thing where when is it a good time to actually, whether it's a good review or it's a bad review or whatever, when is it a good time to actually leave that review?
Ooh, I know the answer.
What is the answer?
After you've received your final product.
Absolutely. That is the answer. After
Tom,
you've received.
you got one.
Yes. And why, Tom, is that the reason why you want to leave that review?
Because you can finally judge that company based on their work that you paid
On a
for.
whole.
Yeah. On a whole.
That's absolutely right. I mean, it's one of those things where and this can go either way. I mean, you could have a great experience at first with a company and have it go sour, or you could have a really bad experience with a company and have it actually go really well. The thing is that if you start leaving your review too early online, then what ends up happening is that, you now have to go back and update it if for some reason that, things didn't go the way that you wanted it to
I'm
go.
looking for a recipe and I find something that sounds so good and everybody has commented, "Oh, that looks great. I have to try it. Oh, I bet that tasted wonderful." And I'm like, "But does it?" Like,
Right.
does it? It's like all reviews on how maybe it's good.
Yeah.
I want to know that it's either good or bad.
Yeah.
An example that we actually experienced, one that jumps out in my head is a client that gave us, I don't know if they gave us a negative review, but they complained about their films before they received their films.
Right.
Like
Right.
raw footage or something like that.
Right.
Was it?
Is that one of yours, Zach? You, Zach, you awful. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, that's a great example. I mean, and we do see it, from time to time. I mean, I think for the most part we get pretty good reviews online, but at the same time, I mean, every once in a while one pops up that kind of just, went awry. And it's one of those things where I always say, look, I'm like, get to the end of it. I mean, if we have a couple that comes in and they're, for whatever reason, they're dissatisfied. I mean, for me, I want to get to the bottom of that first and be able to make that right for the couple, or at least as happy as they possibly can be, on their exit. The problem is, I think that is when you go to when you go negative right away, you start losing the goodwill that company has that they want to actually help you out. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I mean, I hate to say I don't want to say that I'm a culprit of this necessarily, because I do want to make sure that our couples are being taken care of. But at the same time, like, if I see like just someone, essentially went online and slammed us before we actually had the opportunity to make that right or make that correct, there is a part of me that lingers in the background, like, I don't want to help these people out. I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, there are things that I could do. There are things that I could include.
Well,
there are
like the email I got where the first sentences, and I had never had contact with this person once, ever. What the hell is going on? All these exclamation points, and I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Right. It's
Why
like,
are you yelling at me?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the companies that you're working with, I mean, if for some reason things don't go the way that you initially hoped they would, or the way that
you assume
that they should,
it's mostly based on assumptions,
right?
And how they think that any other business operates, and if this is, they all have opinions on how it would work if they were running the show.
Of course, if they were running the show, right? Exactly. But the point I'm making is that companies can do things to help you out. Companies can do things to assist in that, to make it a better experience for you, by the time that you leave that company. And it can also go the other way around too. I mean, if you're out there, whether it's videography, DJ, photography, or whatever, and you're like, oh, this is awesome, it's a great experience, it's wonderful, and then all of a sudden that turns sour. Now you've put a bunch of stuff out there that may not exactly be true either.
What's strange is, like, we want to help you. We want to give you everything you came in,
right?
With your contract, deserved of whatever that word is. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Right.
Ignore me. Anyways, what I'm saying is, we want to help you. But if you come like on attack mode, it's, we're gonna recoil as well and be like, things happen.
Right.
Relax. I'm not curing cancer over
right,
here.
Exactly.
It's an unnecessary.
Yeah, you're not holding the cure to cancer.
No,
I mean, it's essentially it's a wedding.
Like
it's your
my mom
photos
always said, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Right.
And it's true. Like the people that are understanding and kind and still get that it is a business and things do happen, I want to help them.
Right.
And I do. I mean, I want to help everybody, but when you're yelling at me, it's like I kind of want to be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
or overreacting. I mean,
there's a right way to say it, and there's a not so right way to say
Yeah.
it. And
I
a
mean-
lot of people choose the not so right way. But on
Yeah.
the flip side, we get a lot of, good reviews that they loved the videographer. They loved everything up until that point. They haven't gotten everything back yet.
Right.
But it's kind of like, I mean, I like those reviews, but they're kind of baseless.
Yeah, they are baseless. I mean, at
So
the
people
same
are
time.
probably reading that like,
Right, exactly. It's not an accurate review because,
Yeah.
quite frankly, I mean, yeah, I love those too. I love when people go online and obviously are like, hey, this is a great company. We love working with them. Haven't received our films yet. To me, I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm glad it's out there. But if you haven't received your stuff yet, this is like a half review. You know what I mean?
But
This
it's
isn't-
like they're so
It's not
excited.
a complete, right.
they're so excited.
Right,
and
exactly.
Everything went well, and they probably had a fantastic night. And
Yeah, right.
But obviously the wrong way of going about it is an unnecessary confrontation, if you will, when the problem that they've given us is more than likely easily solvable.
Well, right. Well, that's so
Fixable.
true. That's exactly. I mean, like recently we dealt with a situation where, I think we put together the whole film and, our couple picked out the song they wanted to have, and then they viewed the film and they're like, "Oh, I hate the song. I hate the film." And I'm like, "You chose the song." I mean, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if you get the opportunity to do that, then, it's the song that you chose.